One specific thing that I frequently use in the emergency room out of my CCAR trainings is the managing and discovering your own stuff and not allowing my biases to enter into the world of recovery. As a person of a 12-step background, when I often work with recoveries, a lot of people aren't interested in 12 steps, and not allowing that judgment and that bias to enter in my coaching with them. My idea of a coach is to present a lot of options and show guidance, and this is what worked for me, but something that worked for you might be a lot different.
I had willed myself to stop drinking before when I was younger, but as I aged, I couldn't do it any longer. I used to quit for a month at a time, but due to a series of events in my life, but it's not to blame, it's a progressive disease. And the disease it took hold, and I could not do it without help. And I needed a medical detox, which is what TJ convinced me I needed, and he was right there when I got out, and called me every day. I met him at the center in Willimantic at CCAR, and it's just been a wonderful. We're friends. I love TJ. He's one of my closest friends, and he helped me get sober.
My best moment as an emergency department recovery coach is definitely connecting with recoveries and help showing them the long-term supportive care. And coaching is a lot, and building friendships and relationships with people is an amazing thing.
My first 2 years in recovery were at home, staying away from people, and that was the only way that I knew. I didn't know any other pathways. And when I came to CCAR, I learned about those different pathways. I've learned not to get attached to the outcome, but be open-minded to it, and help as much as I can. And some people are not ready. If they're not ready, they're not ready. I never force anybody to do anything, because me personally, it didn't work for me. So just giving them that space, but letting them know that I'm always gonna be here, the door is never gonna close, and give them time. And they sooner or later will come around to get the help.
When Michael started to text me and call me, it was a source of hope for me that I was now connected, and I wasn't ready to go into a place that was like addiction treatment, because I wasn't ready to reveal that about myself. But I did have one other person, and what I understand now about my recovery is that it's through other people, especially peers, where the healing is. And so it was very, very important to have that for me. It gave me hope.
So the coaches came in as a team, gracefully, and were understanding that they were new. This was uncharted waters for our region, and they understood that. And they were open to our concerns, but also were working to alleviate those concerns, and really educated us on what the model was, because no one knew, and we were acting on assumptions. We know what happens when people act on assumptions. There's miscommunication. So they came in and they showed us essentially what they were trained to do and their lived experience, and how they wanted to instill the same hope that someone previously had done with them. Communication is key for that to be able to work. And really, you see the proof when I connect a person with a coach, and then I go back in to check in with them, and they tell me how relieved they are to be able to have spoke with someone, not just from a clinical perspective, but someone with that lived experience who gave them the hope, and their families as well. So really just brung every piece together for that person.
I'd like to think that my staff and I have lots of time to spend with our patients, but in fact we really don't. When we're really busy, we're triaging patients, and so it's nice when you can offer them an opportunity to really speak with somebody for a lengthy period of time, which is what the coaches are doing. They're really getting to know them. They're talking about their history. They're talking about their struggles with recovery. And so I'm impressed with their ability to connect with them, to develop a rapport with them, and also to follow up with them.
So in the emergency department, we often have few resources to take care of a lot of needs. So this was one more resource that was available for us. So recovery coaches came in, they spent the time with the patients and found a solution and tried to break a cycle of people coming in and leaving and coming back and leaving, and then ultimately ended up with severe medical problems or even worse, in death. And so it really seems like there's a solution and for patients to relate to someone that's been down the same steps that they've been down.
The idea of treating someone as a resource instead of an object is something that we at CCAR really stand behind. And it's something that could have helped me in my recovery when I was trying to get into recovery. I felt that I'd been objectified in many different treatment facilities and situations I'd been in when I was trying to work a program of recovery. And being treated more like a resource is something I feel like I could have benefited from. And that's a lesson that I took from the RCA.
I had been clean for 15 years and I had lost touch with recovery houses and everything. And when a crisis hit, I was unable to deal with it. We talked a little bit about spirituality, something I had also given up. And again, he really helped me. I feel like he cares, you know, and that makes a difference, you know. It's not just his job. He literally really cares about me. At least that's how I feel. And it's comforting to know that you have somebody that's there to support you and calls you regularly. You know, we've been in contact now for 4 to 5 months almost, and it's been great, you know.
Any time where someone has long-term success is one of those things that makes me happy to have the job that I have and proud to be an EDRC.
Being open-minded and open to multiple pathways of recovery, that's something that I really got out of the training here, is the multiple pathways to recovery. You know, MAT, they're still in recovery. You know, you're in recovery when you say you are. And yeah, if I didn't get trained in that area, I probably would have been more judgmental, you know, and now I'm not. I'm non-judgmental, I'm non-biased, and I'm completely open-minded. So people in whatever pathway that they choose.
I'm guided by somebody who's been there, who's willing to be honest with me and share their experiences and how they got through it. When I feel like I don't have anybody, I always get a phone call from her around that time. That reminds me that I do. And it's just knowing that somebody cares about you, you know, that you don't even really know. You know, like I got a call that she wasn't available and someone else called me the other day. It was on like a Sunday or Saturday and I was with my kids, and normally I'd be upset, but I was extremely grateful by it, you know, because it was a reminder that where I was and where I was at that moment, because I was with my kids doing stuff that I couldn't say I could do 6 months ago.
My best moment is when I can go home at night and lay my head down on my pillow and know that I did a job well done, that I have touched and planted seeds in others and gave them hope.
If you're going to have a recovery coach program, that your plan for supervision and oversight is everything. But it's that intangible piece that gets me. That piece where I think I really don't have that thing, that spark in that person's eye that they get from someone who has been through it.
We use the coaches as they're meant to be, not as another employee or person of the organization. We really want them to spend the time connecting with the patient. The good part about all of this is that people are much freer about talking about substance abuse, and it's not the hidden issue that it used to be. And so really every family is touched by it, and whether it's opiates, alcohol, any other kind of drugs. The whole CCAR concept was awesome because it now added a second layer, a safety net. And so it was really a perfect symbiotic relationship. I mean, our crisis team handles finding places, handles dealing with the patients, does a great job, but also couldn't sit there for a long time and go beyond the initial evaluation, and although they would often, but the CCAR coach would connect with the patient and then continue the connection after discharge.
My fears were, can I do this? Can I connect with these people? Would I say the wrong thing? Would I act the wrong way? You know, those were my genuine feelings at first. But once I got in there and I met these people, these recoverees that were like me, that shared the same feeling, the same adventure, the same thing as I was feeling, you know, I got over that fear. You know, I put forth my best effort to make that connection as we talk. Knowing that there's people out there like me, you know, I knew how to ask those motivating questions, you know, actively listen to these recoveries, you know, and they taught me how to relate. Recovery is always on my mind, and I'm always here to help individuals, recoverees, know that if they're ready for that journey, I'm ready right with you. Just, you gotta let me know though, what can I do to help you with your journey of recovery?